A full moon day is full of brightness, positivity, and peacefulness. It's the brightest night of the month. This day represents what our minds can become. A mind full of inner brightness, positivity, and peacefulness can overcome any darkness or negativity in our lives, just like how the full moon tonight illuminates the night sky. The full moon happens once a month, so let's practice meditation and let our mind be bright and still like the moon tonight on April 2nd, 2026. See you soon!
When I was recently at the Dhammakaya temple, Paramthani, Thailand, I was asked this question by Long Po. May I ask you this one thing? Do you really want world peace? Only if you will believe it will come true. We have spoken a million words, but after all the words we've heard, still no change will come until this we do. Gently close your eyes and see the sun inside the center of your body, shining clear and bright. If this dream is your desire, let meditation bring you higher. If you really want world peace, it will come true for me and you. Regardless of your race, what country you're from, what religion or your age, this peace is available for you. All you have to do is to look inside. Gently close your eyes and see the sun inside the center of your body, shining clear and bright. If this dream is your desire, let meditation bring you higher. If you really want world peace, it will
Pete, can you hear me okay?
come true for me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Namaskar, Pika.
Sorry, I just came back.
Kon Tam Dai.
Hi, everyone. I am B, and I'm streaming here from the Georgia Meditation Center. So before we get started with today's session, if I can get a quote, please. A number anywhere from 8 to 150. If someone can type that into chat. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, we got 45. Bettina from Switzerland. Thank you, Bettina. All right, 45. Let's see what today's quote says for us. Okay, 45. All right, 45. Already off to a good start. It says positive thinking. If we are smart in thinking, we will choose only the positive thoughts that honor ourselves. We can find happiness in our daily life. It all depends on what we choose to think. If we want to be worried, think worrying thoughts. If we want to be happy, think about happiness. No one forces us to think. We are alone with our thoughts. To be sad or happy is up to your own thoughts. Excellent. Thank you so much. So this is such a great way to start tonight's session, is definitely choosing to be happy and positive. So with that, for those who are online, if you can let us know what city, state, or even country you're from, we always like to know where our members are streaming from. Looks like we've got people from Switzerland, from Thailand, from Chicago, from all over the place, which is always so awesome to see. So thank you for sharing that. Northern California. A little bit about today's schedule. We're going to have a wisdom talk followed by a candlelight, meditation, loving kindness, and then Q&A with our teaching monk. So a little bit about our teaching monk. We've got Monk Daniel teaching tonight. Monk Daniel joined the Tamagai Temple in 2012, and he's been a teaching monk for many years now, committed to sharing his passion of inner peace by stilling the mind. So without further ado, Monk Daniel.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's good to always be back, especially in the beginning of the new month, going into April. And summer is around the corner, spring. I don't know about America right now, but Thailand is getting hotter and hotter every day. We have hotter and hottest, and wet hot when it's rainy season. So we don't really have any winter time unless you're in northern Thailand. So hopefully everyone is having some good weather, some sunshine, have a relaxing time. Especially during this time, we have a lot of things going on. And as the quote talked about just recently, we have to be smart in controlling our thinking so that we can choose the positive thoughts, right? And this seems like kind of hard for most people if we haven't practiced meditation, or even those of us who have practiced meditation, we still need to remind ourselves that we have this tool inside of us that we can use to remind ourselves to choose what we're thinking or change what we're focusing on. And that can be hard, you know. If you lost the remote, maybe it's a little bit harder to change the channel, right? And you have to search for it. And when we meditate, it's like we find that remote and we can start to pick what we want to watch, whether it's on the TV or whatever we may be using to watch. And right now, before we start and review about how to meditate a little bit, let's see who is here. So we have some, like always, the Georgia Meditation Center, pretty packed tonight. Welcome everyone. Anyone new? Can you raise your hand if anyone's new? If not, okay, we have a lot of returning people. That's good. Hopefully today is a good review for tonight. We have the Azusa Center. Okay. Silicon Valley. Okay. Welcome everyone from Silicon Valley. Anyone new from Silicon Valley? No? Okay. We should always treat every meditation like a new time as well. In Kansas, welcome everyone from Kansas. Can you hear me okay? Hello? Okay, anyone new from Kansas? Okay, we have a couple new people. Welcome. Vancouver, anyone new from Vancouver? Oh, we have people from Canada too. Okay, we have a new person. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Azusa, still waiting for some people, I think. How are you, Susa? Everyone good? It's probably still a little bit daytime there, right? So almost nighttime. New Jersey? Hello? Anyone from New Jersey that's new? No? Okay. Welcome back, everyone. What about New York? Oh, New York has the global time in the back, too. Welcome, everyone. Anyone new from New York? No? Okay. Okay. So welcome, everyone. I hope tonight will be a good reminder, because everyone needs a reminder on how to meditate. Even myself, we are lucky enough. Myself, we always have like someone to check in on us, whether it's our master, our teacher, our guiding, to help us, to remind us, are we still practicing the right way? Because we still have the old habits. And sometimes when we meditate, we fall back into the old habits of in the past. So before we get into the meditation tonight, I just want to remind us that everyone here who's joining tonight is doing something very special. This month of April, on the 22nd, is Earth Day. So if you want to change the world we're living in, the first thing we have to change is ourselves. Because everything around us in the world we can't really change, whether it's the weather, the people, whether it's the policies that was around us or whatever is going on, we can't change that right away. But the thing that we can change is how we react to those situations with our mind. And how we react with our mind will set us on a path to change what we say, what we do, and our habits. So many people pray for peace. You get the message, or you hope for peace to happen, but few people practice peace. So how we practice is more important right now, is that practice can help to change the world, starting from your own inner world, starting from what are you thinking about, what are you focusing on, and how is that impacting your daily life, day by day. So I want you to feel that a better you creates a better world. Love yourself first, and the rest will follow. This is a new, this concept can be kind of feel selfish for some people. Like, why should I love myself first? Or how can making myself better be good? Sometimes we want to focus on everyone else, especially those of us who are part of a family. You're a father, you're a brother, you're a mother, a sister. Sometimes you focus on everyone around you, making everyone else happy, and if you forget about someone, and that someone is yourself. So we have to work on ourselves a little bit, make ourselves feel positive, make ourselves feel happy, and by doing so, that's going to automatically shine out from you. It's going to be like a light that's turned on, and everyone will be able to see it and feel it through your words, through your actions, through everything. So take some time to give all that love that you have. We share it to everyone, but don't forget to share that back to yourself as well. The way to do that is what we're about to do tonight, as we're going to the moon, not in a spaceship tonight, but the moon inside of yourself, right? That moon inside of yourself, we all have it. The happiness that we feel when something good happens, when our mind is peaceful, we have this happiness inside of us that we can access. But a lot of times that happiness gets covered with clouds, with thoughts, with distractions, and it makes that what's already there hard to see, out of focus, even though it's there. Okay, so we have to be like the full moon tonight. It's shining all the time. Sometimes we can't see it because of it's daytime, or it's a different phase, or whatever may be blocking it, or just taking us from being able to see it. But the full moon can shine because it needs a source of light. That source of light comes from the sun, right? The moon doesn't shine by itself. So it's the same thing with us. Our mind doesn't always shine by itself. It can shine, but it needs to find the source to keep it shining, to keep it bright. And that source is the sun, like the moon needs the sun. But for us, we need a peaceful mind, a happy mind, a positive mind. Reconnect to that sun. And it's going to make our inner moon, our inner happiness right now start to shine. So we have to navigate that darkness with the right source of light. A lot of people look for someone or something on the outside to help us in our time of need. But I want us to get into a new habit and realize that we have a source to help us navigate tough situations or day by day situations, and that thing is inside of us. But we have to practice a new kind of thinking, which is kind of, when we talk about this word, some people are resistant to it. Like when they hear stop, it's like the opposite of going forward, the opposite of succeeding, because you're not doing anything, right? So when you hear stop is the key to success, I think some people have that automatic question in their mind of how can I stop, or is it possible to even stop, right? And how can I stop my mind? Because we're always thinking, and that's something that we have been doing for many years, 10, 20, 30 or plus years, right? As we grow up, we never really stop and pause. And it seems so foreign or unnatural to say that, oh, I can stop my mind and that's going to bring me success. But I want us to put those ideas aside for a moment, and let's try, before we get to the word stop, right? Stop may feel like difficult or too far away for us. So it's okay. We can stay first. Stay until your mind stops. When is it going to stop? Don't worry about it. It will happen naturally on its own. But first, we have to work on how can I stay in this general area before our mind actually stops. So in meditation, how we stop is by being mindful and comfortable together. We'll use a technique, whether it's visualization, a mantra, or something else, to keep your mind present, to stay in this general area comfortably. Like right now, you're sitting in the room, whether it's in whatever center you're in or you're in the comfort of your home. The key word is the comfort of your home, or the comfort of the place you're at, right? If you didn't feel comfortable sitting in the chair right now, or comfortable sitting here, wherever you may be, you probably want to leave. You probably want to get up and go somewhere else. And your mind is the same way. So whatever technique you use, it has to make it feel familiar, make it feel comfortable, make it feel relaxed, as well as mindful, so it can want to stay. So our mind is like the glass of water. It's always thinking, it's moving in the beginning, it's being stirred by our thoughts, by how we are acting to those thoughts. So it's like we're constantly stirring our mind. And once we stop stirring, yes, there's still momentum. The water is still moving. But as we don't move it anymore and we allow the water to just stay, the glass to just stay on the table, eventually that water will slow down on itself, by itself. So it's the same idea in meditation. If you can keep your mind somewhere for a moment and stop reacting to it and stirring it, it's going to start to slow down naturally, and then eventually it's going to stop and be still. When we use the methods, the mantra, the meditation, the mantra or the visualization, those are the things that are going to help your mind to want to stay in that general area, stay in the present moment rather than going to the past or the future. So it's kind of like we want to capture our mind to stay first in a comfortable way. So how we can stay is to be present. We need something to help us to stay present. So no matter what method we use to meditate, whatever way we practice, that principle is to be conscious with comfort must go together. So I want us to get used to, you may have heard different methods, or even when I guide the meditation in just a moment, I will be suggesting you some techniques, whether it's visualization or a mantra or just relaxing. Those methods are to help you to stay present until your mind can slowly and gently stop. And you can think of it as like you go to have dinner, right? You go to a restaurant, right? When you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you look at the menu, you order what you enjoy, right? What you think will be delicious, right? So this is kind of the same idea. I'm your server. I'm giving you the menu. I want you to pick what you enjoy, right? Pick what you think you will like. But after you order it and you taste it, do you like that meal? Do you like that method? If you don't, you can reorder. You can get a new one. You can change your order. Luckily, this restaurant is free, so you can get all you can eat, and also you can change what you want. Okay, so pick what you enjoy, taste it, feel it. Do you enjoy that method? Does it help you to stay mindful? and most importantly, relax. That's what's going to make you enjoy the meal or enjoy the method until eventually, as you keep eating, you get full. The same idea is you'll stay until your mind will stop. Okay. So the methods to stay present is we can use an image. We'll pick an image, whether it's the full moon tonight. I think that'll be a good image for us to imagine. We can imagine the candle that you're about to light, right? You can imagine the sun. You can imagine anything that helps your mind to stay positive and pure. Keyword here. So pick an image that makes you feel more calm, makes you feel more neutral. So don't pick an image that is going to distract you or get you feeling on the negative side. As well as if an image is too difficult for you to imagine, that's okay. Not all of us are easy to imagine something, and that's okay. We can also use a mantra. In our technique, we use the mantra Samma Arahang. But you can also use clear and bright. Usually I would recommend 1 or 2 words to something that you can repeat to yourself and pick a positive and happy phrase so that can keep your mind focused. These 2 techniques are still stirring your mind that we mentioned, like we have the glass and we're still stirring. But it's stirring it gently. And it's to help your mind be focused and stay here in the present rather than going to the future or the past. So instead of thinking of 10,000 things, we're just thinking of one thing. But that one thing, stay with that one thing until that one thing starts to fade and become nothing. So we're going to use this technique to keep our mind staying in this general area. And then once you feel that, I don't need it anymore. This is something you have to feel for yourself. When you start to feel that your mind is slowing down, your mind is getting more calm, I want you to try to just let go of that method too. It's kind of like you're riding a bike and you finally take off the training wheels and see what happens. Can you maintain the balance? Can you just keep yourself upright? These techniques are just to help keep your mind in the general area in the present. But eventually, if you let go of them, that's the end goal. Going back to stop is the key to success. I want you to try to stop completely without using anything. So from 10,000 thoughts to 1 thought to 0. That's the end goal. And you'll start to see that when you get to that 0, what does it feel like? When I get to that nothingness, what does it feel like? Is there something in that nothingness? There's something we have to taste for ourselves, okay? Feel for ourselves. So once you pick one of these 2, eventually we'll use the 3rd one, which is just be still. It's like your mind is ready to just be still. It doesn't need a mantra. It doesn't need the visualization, or it doesn't need, you can use both actually. So eventually you'll feel for yourself, I don't need them and I can just be still. But throughout the whole process here, we can switch and change as much as we need until we can be still longer and longer. Okay. So for now, follow the comfort. If you don't feel comfortable, you feel something's off, you're not enjoying what you're using right now, you can change. This is something I cannot emphasize enough, is that you can change, you can adjust. And a lot of people are scared to do that sometimes. But I give you permission, and I recommend it a lot that you can change, okay? So with the visualization, we can think of anything that's familiar, easy. Or it can be a rose. For those of us who are Buddhists, it can be easy to imagine the Buddha statue, or a crystal sphere because it's colorless. It's usually easy to imagine. It can be the sun, a star, the moon tonight. All right. We can imagine an ice cube. But when you imagine it, you can imagine it in the beginning, we can imagine it where we feel comfortable, okay? Don't worry too much about the size, the clarity, where it's at in the beginning. I just want you to be able to stay with that image consistently, comfortably. If it disappears, imagine it again. Kind of like a candle. It goes out, you imagine it again, you light it again. Okay. So you can imagine like in front of you, close to you, inside of you, whatever is easier for you in the beginning. You can imagine covering you, like you're sitting in the moon, for example. when we use the mantra, the same idea. Try to feel like the sound is coming from somewhere, whether it's inside of you or whatever you feel that's relaxing for you. But before we start the meditation tonight, I want you to get used to these 3 words, because you're going to have to use them throughout the meditation and also in the future. When we meditate, we have to be able to readjust, relax, and repeat. This is a cycle that we cannot escape, whether you've been meditating for a long time or it's your first time. It's something that we still all do. I still do. Is that if you lose the way, you can readjust. If you forget, you can try again. Take it easy, do it simply and gently. So any journey you take, sometimes you need to take a break, readjust yourself, get back on the track, right? Like just recently, I went to Nepal. I just came back a couple of days ago. And, climbing Mount Everest is not one go, right? They have to go from one point, take a break at that point, recover themselves, and then continue, and then eventually they can summit. And it's the same idea in meditation, that sometimes you need to get the obstacle out or readjust to get you back on course, and then you can continue. But eventually you'll get to the experience or get to the stillness of mind, or that stopping that I mentioned in the beginning. It's a process that we have to constantly get used to. So remember these 3 R's. It's okay to readjust, relax, and repeat as many times as you need. Because it's not starting the meditation over. It's not going back to the starting line again. It's adjusting yourself so that you can continue on your journey in the right direction is a key word too. Because sometimes once we start to feel uncomfortable, feel not relaxed, not in balance anymore, yes, we're still continuing, but we're off course. And the longer you stay off course, the harder it is to get back. And it's harder to get back to where we're going, which is to get still again, to get to that inner moon, that inner peace, that inner happiness that we can feel. And it's inside of us. It's not too far away, right? We don't have to travel thousands and thousands of miles. It's actually just close your eyes, relax, and we can feel it inside. Travel inside is very close, but sometimes when something's very close to us, we overlook it and we don't realize it's there, or we don't appreciate it. So right now is our time to appreciate. It's our time to see what's actually right inside of us. So before we start the meditation, we can take a moment to light the candles. And when you light the candles, I want you to try to capture that image if you can in your mind. And we can also use that as a visualization tool. And it can also be our symbol for ourselves that, okay, now that we lit this candle on the outside, we can start our journey to find that inner light on the inside as well, which is very easy to find if we can just relax our body, relax our mind. We'll see what's already inside of us. So let's take some time to do that, and then we can continue the meditation together. Okay. Before we start the meditation, I want to have a short message from our meditation master, my meditation master. So if everyone can listen, it will be a short review of everything that we mentioned tonight. Okay?
ที่สุดในโลกเลยคือไม่ต้องทำอะไรเลย ทำเฉยๆง่ายไหม นี่จะแค่ทำเฉยๆคือโน้ตฮาวตรงนี้ถ้าไม่ขยายมนุษย์ทั้งหลายทั่วโลกได้รับทราบมันน่าเสียดายนี่จะไอ้ที่จะตั้งใจให้ทุกคนในโลกได้รู้เห็นเพราะมันเป็นสิ่งที่ง่ายนะที่มนุษย์สามารถเข้าถึงความสุขได้อย่างง่ายๆประหยัดสุดประโยชน์สูงเลยต้องเสียตังค์ด้วย แค่นั่งเฉยๆหาจุดสบายให้เจอนี่จะถ้ากายสบายใจสบายก็ง่ายนิดเดียวนะหาให้เจอเท่านั้นแหละก็จะเข้าถึงอย่างง่ายๆเลยนะจ๊ะอยากไปบอกให้มนุษย์ทุกคนในโลกได้รับทราบว่าแหล่งความสุขที่แท้จริงที่เรากำลังแสวงหามันอยู่ในตัวเราไม่ได้อยู่ที่ไหนและเข้าถึงนี่ไม่ต้องเสียอะไรเลยแค่นั่งเฉยๆอย่างนี้หาจุดสบายให้เจอหาจุดสบายเจอวันนี้ก็เข้าถึงวันนี้นี่นะจ๊ะถ้าหาจุดนี้ไม่เจอมันก็ยังไม่ถึงเนี่ยแค่ให้สังเกตว่าวันนี้กายเราสบายไหมใจสบายไหมอารมณ์สบายไหมเราทำไงถึงสบายแล้วก็อยู่จุดที่สบายนี่เองไปเรื่อยๆอย่างง่ายๆอย่างสบายๆถ้าสบายคืนนี้ก็ได้คืนนี้นี่นักเรียนอยากได้คืนไหน คืนนี้นะก็แค่หาสบายๆนี่ได้ แล้วสังเกตว่าสบายไหมแอบเล็งๆดูนะ ถ้ารักที่จะเข้าถึงจุดนี้ได้ต้องเป็นบุคคลต้องหมั่นสังเกตดูอารมณ์ดูจิตใจดูการวางใจอย่างนี้นะจ๊ะเราทำอย่างนี้อย่างนี้อย่างนี้แค่ให้ถึงจุดสบายนี่นะสบายตรงไหนเอาตรงนั้นก่อนนักเรียนเมื่อกี้ครูผู้ใหญ่พูดว่าไงนะจ๊ะสบายตรงไหนเอาตรงนั้นก่อนสบายตรงไหนเอาตรงนั้นก่อนสบายตรงไหนเอาตรงนั้นก่อนโดยไม่คำนึงถึงศูนย์กลางกายเลยนี่นะเอาตายเผลอไปบอกโน้ตฮาวนะทีนี้ใจมันจะเป็นอย่างนี้พอเจอจุดสบายไม่ว่าอยู่นอกตัวอยู่ใกล้ตัวอยู่ในตัวเดี๋ยวมันจะไปลงกลางตัวเองง่ายไหมนี่ไงจะเราหาจุดสบายเจอแล้วเดี๋ยวมันจะเคลื่อนไปเองเลยมันจะไปเองเมื่อเราเจอจุดสบายมันก็จะเมื่อเราเจอจุดสบายมันก็จะเมื่อเราเจอจุดสบายมันก็จะไปเองไปไหนไปที่ศูนย์กลางกายเองเลยนี่ไปเจอสิ่งที่มีอยู่แล้วอะไรมีอยู่แล้วจ๊ะความสุขมีอยู่แล้วความสว่างก็มีอยู่นี่อะไรก็มีอยู่ตรงนั้นง่ายไหมเราควรจะถึงคืนนี้หรือคืนพรุ่งนี้นี่ถ้าสบายกายสบายใจก็ถึงไหนแล้วจำไม่ได้แล้ว
Okay, so easy, right? Just relax our body, relax our mind, stay, and then our mind will stop. But we have to find the comfortable place. That comfortable place is the method that we enjoy, okay? So let's take some time together to meditate and we can get back to what he was talking about, the happiness that's already inside of us. So let's take the time to adjust. Now that we have lit the candle on the outside, we can come back and relight the candle on the inside, easily and naturally. All we need to do is close our eyes softly, gently, and naturally, as if we're going to sleep. Let's treat this meditation as a time to rest, but rest in a special way. A way where we relax our body and truly rest our mind. Before we try to stop the mind, take the time to relax the body first, creating a foundation of relaxation that we can build upon. The more we relax, the easier it'll be for our mind to stop. So take a few moments to observe, to relax, to release all the muscles in our body. Finding a comfortable sitting position that we can maintain mindfully and relaxingly. To make sure that our body is relaxed and free from any tension or any hidden tightness, we can simply breathe in deeply and exhale slowly a few times. As you breathe in, bring your attention to your breath, feeling the relaxation, helping us to relax, to release, soothing, calming, relaxing. As we breathe out, allow any tension, any tightness to disappear, to fade away, leaving us with a feeling of relaxation, of freedom, of emptiness. The more we relax our body, and the moment that we start to relax, our meditation has already begun. Every moment of relaxation, mindfully, is helping our meditation already. So take it easy, take it slow. Now that our body is relaxed, and the more we relax, the lighter we will feel, both physically and mentally. This is the power of relaxation. It helps us to let go bit by bit, becoming lighter and lighter naturally. To help our mind to let go, to relax, we have to put everything aside for a moment. Whether it's our responsibilities or anything that may make our mind feel heavy in this moment, put it aside and let's change our focus to something that we feel relaxed with, calm with, and easy to do. Let's take this time to take care of ourselves first, to love ourselves first, to connect to the positive place inside of us. we can connect to our full moon of happiness, of positivity, by using a method that we enjoy, that feels easy. It can be simply to repeat the mantra in our mind. Samma Arahang. Samma Arahang. Samma Arahang. Allowing that sound to resonate, to repeat, to help our minds stay in the present. Or for some of us, if we have any visual distractions, or if it feels easy, you can also imagine the moon, the candle that we just lit, as a way to keep our mind in the present moment. We can imagine it however we like, wherever we like, finding the point of comfort for yourself. Whatever feels natural, whatever feels relaxing. Stay with the method that helps you. Stay mindful and relax. The key is to be with that method consistently, comfortably, contently, as long as you need it. Feel for yourself. Follow the comfort. Stay with the method that you enjoy. We can stay with the mantra. We can stay with the full moon. We can stay with the candle. Stay until your mind stops. Stay however you like. Every moment that we can stay mindfully and relaxingly is a moment of success. This is the point of comfort. Stay with our comfort, and that point will bring us to the source of happiness inside of us, back to the full moon of happiness that's inside of all of us, the source of positive energy that we all have, that resides in our own mind. Sometimes it's covered. Sometimes we don't realize that it's even there. But as we stay with the method mindfully, relaxingly right now, we'll start to feel and see what's already inside of us. So for now, continue to stay with your method softly, gently, relaxingly. we will know and feel for ourselves when we can let go, when our mind feels calm and quiet. At that moment, we can try the phrase, "Stop is the key to success." We can let go, be still, relax, and see what happens. Feel what happens. But at any moment, we feel that we cannot just be still, our mind gets distracted. It's okay. We can relax. We can readjust, relax, and repeat again. We can change the method that we are using, or go back to the method that we know helps us to stay mindful and in balance again. Readjust, relax, and repeat. Find that comfort point again. Find that method that you feel familiar with. It feels natural, it feels easy, it feels relaxing again. Because in the end, we have to find the balance for ourselves, where it's not too tight, not too loose, but we can find the middle way, the point of comfort, where we can stay mindful and relax. Now that we've taken the time to reconnect to our full moon of positivity inside, we can continue to be like the full moon, allowing the brightness of our mind to overcome the darkness of this world. By shining out, spreading our positivity, starting from ourselves, wishing for ourselves to be happy, to be healthy, to be able to connect to this source of positivity more deeply, more powerfully, and more easily. And spreading this wish to our loved ones, wishing for them to also be healthy, to be happy. Or for anyone who has passed on, we can still share this positivity, because the positivity of mind has no boundaries. When we close our eyes, all the distance, all the differences, it disappears. The positivity of mind can be shared no matter the distance. So we can share this wish to our friends, to the people sitting in the room around us, to all the people online in the Zoom with us right now. Expanding out to everyone in our state, in our country, and even the world. The most important thing now is that the more calm, the more positive our mind becomes, the easier it will be in the future to spread our positivity. And that positivity will spread out of all of us naturally. Because when our mind is bright, our thoughts, our words, and our actions will also be bright and shine out automatically. That's why it's so important to reconnect to this positivity often. Not allowing the darkness of this world to overcome the brightness of our mind, but allowing the brightness of our mind to overcome the darkness. We can do that one step at a time. Even if it's just a moment. That small moment of stillness, of calm, is a step in the right direction to help illuminate our mind bit by bit. So let's take a moment to come back to ourselves, to relax, to absorb the positivity from within us and around us. Sapphe Buddha Palapatta Pajje Ganang Jayang Palang Arahanta Nate Sherakang Pantami Sapaso Sapaputta Nupavena Sapatama Nupavena Sapasangha Nupavena Sata Soti Bhavantu Te. By the positivity generated in this meditation, may that positivity bless us in every way. And when we are ready, we may slowly and gently open our eyes. So, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a pleasant journey inside. And if you have a moment, you can stick with us to share your experience, whether it's online or offline. And also, if you have any questions, please stay on. I'm sure many of us have. Or if you want to leave some questions for that's also fine. And without further ado, we'll give the session back to our lovely moderator, Miss B.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. Yeah, so I've got a few announcements before we head on over to our Q&A, which is one of the most important parts of the sessions because we definitely can learn from one another. So first of all, please mark our next full moon meditation session. It's going to be on Friday, May 1st. We are already into the 5th month of this year, 2026, quickly approaching half of the year. Time goes by so quickly, and I think these are the times that we have to reflect what matters the most and how we can use our time wisely. So definitely finding that stillness and happiness within is very important for us. So this is how we can do it, is by learning to still the mind. And we come together to do that once a month. So you see the schedule right there. May 1st is the next one, which is on a Friday. And then if you are on, first of all, before moving on to the next part of the announcement, please do invite family and friends to join us. Now that it's online, you know, if you're on site, you can come on site. You can also join online. But the more people that meditate, the more powerful it can be to bring brightness and happiness and positive energy to the world, because there's no other time where we need more peace than now. And if we all come together as one, there's so much we can do. So definitely try to invite families and friends and yourself as well to definitely commit to your meditation practice. So with that, when you log off on Zoom, there's going to be a QR code. We also have the QR code that we're going to put on the screen for people who want to give us feedback, anything with regards to your meditation that you want to share to our teaching monk directly. You can do it on the feedback form as well, or how we can improve. We definitely want to continue to improve and get better. And then on top of that, if you don't already have our app, MindGym, please download it. MindGym is awesome because not only can you meditate at the convenience of your own home, we've got an app both on Android and iOS, but you get notifications every month when there's a full moon meditation session. It's a different day every month because there's a different full moon depending on the day in the month, it falls on a different day, but you get notifications often, and that's how you can stay on top of our sessions as well. So you can download the app. You can also download it on the website, and you can find out about other activities that we have as well on the website. We've got additional online resources for you to utilize. Other sessions that we have, you can find out about them on this website. On top of that, you can also find your local center near you, which we've got 20 different branches in the United States, and then around the world, about 200. And then what's really cool now is if you go all the way to the bottom, and if you happen to be visiting Thailand, you can even get a tour of our big center as well. So yes, definitely, we've got lots of resources for you guys. So with that, let's get Monk Daniel back online for our Q&A portion of the session. If you are on site, please, if you have any questions, let your facilitator know, and then they'll pop in on chat. Or if you're online, you can definitely ask online as well while we've got our teaching monk on the call, and we can ask him. And this can be anything from anything that you might be curious about with regards to your own meditation practice, to questions you might have about meditation or how you can improve, or obstacles, or anything that you are interested in knowing about. We can ask our teaching monk now. Okay, so a lot of people liked hearing Longpa Tamachayo's comments, Longpi, with regards to his recommendation on meditation. And then we've got a question from Hugo. His question is, what is the biggest problem in the world today? And it's not the wars. I have my own answer, but I wanted to hear from a monk's deep point of view, please.
I think this is a great question. And I think Longpa, the master, my meditation master that we just introduced before the meditation, he answered it very well. And he mentioned that the most important war that we have to focus on is the war on the inside and winning that war. And he mentioned the point of comfort, right? When we started the meditation, before we started the meditation, that point of comfort is inside of us. It's at the center of the body. But to get to that point or conquer that point is very important. If we can center our mind, still our mind, and have that victory over the negativity in our mind, the greed, the anger, the delusion, or all the negative things that influence our thoughts, influence our speech, influence our actions. We have to get to this root of those problems in ourselves. And the more we meditate, the more we can reduce that negativity in our mind more and more and more. And it's a constant battle until we can fully get that root, uproot that negativity out of our mind. And we're all in that journey, myself included. We're still practicing to get rid of it. You know, when we meditate, it's not an instant cure, right? It's not going to completely get rid of the symptoms right away. It's like you have a flu. If you take the right medicine, it's not going to make the flu go away right away. It may take a couple of days, and then eventually your body's immune system can take over and help you recover, and then we can move on. And meditation is like that. We have to do it consistently, do it correctly, and over time, those symptoms of the mind that is sick or infected will get better and better, and then we can overcome the negativity in our mind more and more. And eventually we have a better immune system too to negativity around us, so that we can react in the right way without bias, without ego, without anything clouding our judgment. And that when more people do that, starting from ourselves, but most importantly from ourselves, but when more people all put in that effort to connect to that positivity, overcome that negativity in our mind more and more, the problems in the world will start to disappear more and more. Because the problems in the world stem from the problems in everyone's mind. And those problems reflect out. And when they reflect out, it reflects in their actions, and it reflects in what they decide to do, and it compounds. But the opposite is also true. If we can all start from a positive place, that will reflect out through our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And when people are in positions of power, they'll be able to do positive and powerful things. So hopefully, it's hard to change the world, but we can change ourselves first. And a lot of people kind of overlook our influence, but actually you influence the lives of many people day by day. If you think about it, from the day you were born until now, all the people you have interacted with, indirectly or directly, is a lot. So if we can keep our mind positive, keep ourselves positive, it's like you're a walking sun, walking full moon. Everything you go around, everything you influence, you can bring warmth, you can bring brightness, or you can bring the opposite. So I think it's very important. And then when you have that positivity and people see you, they'll ask you, oh, what are you doing, right? And you can share them how to meditate, and this can be the change that we can add or inject into the world more and more.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. So this is another question that I think many people can probably relate to at some point in life. But the question is, any tips on quieting the mind when the heart is heavy from grief and loss?
This is usually a challenge for everyone, even myself, when we have something that is like this, whether it's with our, like for me, I think everyone will have to experience death at some time, right? It's something that we cannot avoid. So the most important thing is that there's two ways to go around it. First, before it happens, we have to train our mind now so that we can be used to meditating and know what we have to use to keep our mind calm and still. But for those of us who just learn about meditation now and we have those situations come up, it's very important that after we relax our body, relax our mind, or start to relax our mind, that we have to get something to attach our mind to before that grief or before that pain tries to jump in. It's like we have to use the mantra, use the visualization quickly to kind of build this shield around your mind to keep your mind here before it wants to go back to being with that grief or go back to focusing on the sadness again. Our mind can change very quickly, channels, right? Back and forth, back and forth. So in the beginning, it may be kind of a tug of war. You'll go back to the grief. So when you get back to the grief in the meditation, I would recommend, if you cannot let go of it, the easiest way to let go is just open your eyes. Open your eyes, relax again, come back, close your eyes again, and then bring up the visualization image or bring up the mantra again quickly. And train yourself to not linger in that feeling. When that feeling comes back, we go back to the mantra or come back to the visualization. And in the beginning, it's going to be like a bouncing back and forth. But just be diligent in when you realize that you're going back to that feeling, I have to adjust quickly. Don't stay in it. And as we do that often, it's going to get easier to focus on the peacefulness rather than going back to the grief.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. Are you ready for the next question?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this question is, how can we better integrate our meditation practice throughout the entire day instead of just doing it once a month, week, day, or just a specific time?
Well, this is a good sign because the idea that you want to practice meditation throughout the day is the next step, right? To really get to what we're talking about helping the world, helping everything, is that you have to make meditation consistent if you want to see the benefits more profoundly, right? Everyone can have a good meditation session one time, and it can make you feel, you come out of meditation, you feel bright, you feel light, you feel like the world is brighter, right? But that feeling will fade because your mind gets back into the old status or old state. So the most important and the hardest part of meditation is consistency. So how can we be consistent is having that mindset first that I'm not going to just meditate when I have a problem, but I'm going to meditate to keep the problems away or keep our mind with a strong immune system so that when we have some germs come in, you can overcome, right, and not get sick. So the most important thing is that finding time in our daily schedule to do it daily, and not, it's kind of like your daily steps, right? You want to get 10,000 steps a day, right? Try to break it up. If you wait until the last moment to do it, it's going to take you like 2 hours of walking, right? Which is can be a long time, right? So you have to break it up. Maybe I'll do 10 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes in the morning, then another 30 minutes in the afternoon, another minute, 30 minutes. Keep adding those small sessions. Or if 30 minutes is too long, do 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, right? So you have to break it up. And meditation, you can do it with your eyes open. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it anytime. It's just about being present in the moment. But the more present you are and the more you can let go, the deeper the meditation will be. So usually, I'm not saying, okay, now you don't have to close your eyes to meditate, but you need both. So a good way is that when your eyes are open, you can, when you have don't start from the moments that are hard. Like everyone wants to do meditation all the time, when they're driving, when they're in a meeting, when they're listening. Maybe when you're in a lecture or when you're in a meeting or when you're interacting with many people, it's not the time to practice. You're not at that level yet where you can talk and keep your mind still or talk and keep your mind in the meditative state, right? It's not that easy yet, but actually you can get to that state. But for now, start from the moments where you're by yourself, which we do have those moments, right? When you're walking by yourself to your work or to your office, or the moments between clients, or the moments when there's at a stoplight. Instead of like waiting for it to turn green, you can also take a moment to relax, bring your mind back to the mantra, bring your mind back to the visualization, or at your desk. I'm sure you're not having to work the whole time. There's moments, maybe before you have lunch, at your lunch break, before you eat. You can practice like a monk. You don't have to be a monk, but you can practice like a monk, is that before we eat, we reflect on the food. Or just like, you say grace, or in other religions or something, you pray. But instead of just praying, you take a moment to calm your mind. Just a moment. It can be a minute, 5 minutes. Just come back to your breath, come back to the mantra, come back to the visualization, and still your mind for a moment. Collect these mindful moments throughout the day. It can be a moment, it can be a minute, it can be an hour, but break it up throughout the day, and that will help you to practice bit by bit until you start to do it. As you do it more often, it's like your mind will automatically, it's time to come back to this comfort point where I feel comfortable, whether it's with the image or the mantra. For example, try to use your environment to remind you. So that depends on yourself, what you want to use to remind yourself. So maybe it's something at your desk, your wallpaper on your phone, on your computer, something that when you see it, it reminds you to come back. How's my mind right now? And try to interject those moments throughout your day. And it can be difficult in the beginning, so we can use like technology as a reminder, right? Maybe you have an app, whether it's the Mind Gem app, or I think there's some apps like there's also another app called Mind Stories, and that app can do like the homework from Lumpur that we just introduced earlier in the session, that Lumpur said every minute of an hour, try to bring your mind back, have like a mindful moment, whatever method is easy for you in that moment. You can simply just to be still, be with your breath for a moment, or feel your center for a moment, or stay with the mantra for the moment or the visualization for a moment, but 1 minute every hour. So by the end of the day, you have 60 minutes of practicing. So have to find something to remind you. We have this full moon once a month to remind you, right? Which is better than nothing. But you also have to be your own like doctor and remind yourself often too. So I know it's not easy, so try to find something around you to remind you and use that as your reminder. And especially now that we all have phones with us almost all the time, maybe something on your phone would be the best, right? I say it pretty often, is that before you check your phone, check your mind. And you'll start to see that, oh, you have a lot of time to actually to practice meditation. But, when we're free, the first thing we do or we see is that a lot of people have to check their phone, right? Do I have a message, or is there something I can do? And instead of doing that, we can take that moment to also still our mind and then also use our phone later. So you can interject those moments. Maybe before you eat is one moment, right? Lunch, breakfast, dinner. Now you have 3 times to practice. Before you sleep, when you wake up. So now you have 5 times. You can start from those.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. So there is a comment. Eric also says he tries to center his mind at all times, no matter what he's doing. Which is very good if you could do that.
Yeah, but when you center your mind at all times, we have to be aware that when we're at the center, that we feel comfortable too. That's another thing too. So think of it, where do I feel comfortable? And if I feel comfortable at the center at this moment, then it's good. And sometimes it may not be at the center in that moment, and that's okay as a starting point.
So Monk Daniel, we do not have any other questions that have trickled in, but I like to kind of finish off unless something comes by, asking a question that I'm curious about, which is, with regards to meditation, the more people that meditate, I know deep down that that energy can help the world. I don't exactly know how to explain it other than this intuition that just feels like the more people that come together to meditate as one, the more we can kind of send that energy outwards, and that can really help make the world better, peaceful. How does that work, Monk Daniel? Is there a way to explain that I guess magical component in terms of how that's logical?
I think we've all felt it before, right? Like if you go I think all humans we've all had like a sixth sense, right? Whether you feel like your goosebumps, right? When you go into a room or go into a place, it feels strange. Or if someone's mad, you can feel that energy coming off of them without having to ask them, right? Whether you see it in their face or see it, you can also feel it, right? So I think there's a lot of situations or when you feel anxious, you have stage fright, or you have these moments, you can really feel it. So these are some things that are close to you, right? But the same thing is when there's a really positive feeling in the room, right? You want to stay there. You enjoy being in that room. And I don't think you can experiment with it, but it's not a coincidence that when you go into that place, it feels good, or you feel comfortable there, or you sit next to someone, or you listen to someone or something like that, you feel like something there, right? And as we meditate more and more, you get more in tune with that feeling and start to see the impact and feel it for yourself. And it's very compounding. When you have one ice cube in a glass, it's not very cool, but when you have 20, the glass becomes cool. So the aura and the positivity from one person can only expand so much. But when your mind is more and more positive, how far that expands is even wider. It's like you go from 1G to 2G to 5G, and the signal you're sending out gets stronger. And doing it by yourself is not enough signal strength. because there's a lot of negative signal strength also coming from other people or mainly other people. We're all just like sending out different energy. So when everyone can send out that positive energy together, it becomes like birds, like migrating, like it helps each other to go further. And yeah, so if more people, that's why meditation as a group, there's a lot of benefits as well. We kind of help each other with that positive feeling. So maybe you're having a bad day, but someone else is meditating really deeply, you may actually meditate well because of that person. So, but on the logical side of it is that if that person feels positive, the likelihood that they're going to say something positive and do something positive is way higher, right? And it's the same thing, like if you're angry and you're eating your favorite food, it doesn't taste good anymore, right? So your mind has a huge impact on how we react, how we see the world. And if we're in a good mood, how we see the world becomes we become more sympathetic, we become more understanding, right? And when someone does something, the likelihood that you're gonna react in a positive way is way higher, right? So this is like the logical side of it. But there's also a supernatural side of it. But I think you felt it when those situations, when you get scared or when you get nervous, you get angry. These are just the energy that you're feeling. But when you meditate, you'll start to feel, this is what it feels to have that positive energy. How does it feel that when your mind is clean, when your mind is still, there's a different energy coming out?
Wow. Thank you, Monk Daniel. That's so powerful. And the analogy with the ice cubes, I really like that. It actually makes a lot of sense to me when you said it like that. So we do have a couple more questions that trickled in after, and then hopefully we can get to them before 10:30. But the next question is, may you explain how it feels when you're at your best possible state of mind so I can know what it is to benchmark?
And the best state of mind, there's a lot of stages of it, but for our benchmark for you, I want you to at least get to a neutral state where you feel like I can sit. There's nothing bothering me. I can sit as long as I want. You'll feel for yourself that in the beginning that I can sit, and then as time goes by, you'll feel like I want to sit. I'm enjoying what's happening. I don't care when the session's going to end. I have everything that I need right now. And that transition will happen on its own, and you'll feel, because the key thing that's happening there is happiness is happening, right? From the moment that the change from I can sit to I want to sit is happening because something is making you feel good. And that is the feeling I want us to shoot for often. And like every time we have this monthly checkup, right, about our meditation, but even for myself, we have weekly checkups with our master about how is your meditation.
Looks like we might have just lost Monk Daniel. Let's give it a couple more seconds. But in all honesty, even if we did, it's perfect timing because it's almost 10:30. Did want him to finish his last train of thought, though. So that is a really good question. And especially the last one. The last question is, what is the most dangerous spiritual idea people live by? So definitely want to hear him answer that.
Sorry.
And oh, there he is. Excellent, Lopi. I'm glad you came back because I was just kind of rambling.
Where did
No, in all honesty, I was curious to know how you're gonna finish
where
wrap
did
it
it cut
up.
off? Sorry.
About the question was benchmarking when and you're just talking about being neutral and wanting to stay in that happy place. When you're happy, it's easy to not want to open your eyes.
So when we get to that feeling is that you have this feeling that you don't want anything else, right? You feel content with this, I'm happy with this. I don't need anything else. And it's very strange to say, but when you meditate, you'll start to understand that there's a happiness inside that is enough to sustain you, and it's enough to give you energy and want to, keep living. But you living from a source of this new source of energy that's inside of you. But before you get to that feeling, you can start just from neutral is enough. That's already a huge benchmark when you can sit and you feel like I can sit. I don't need anything. There's nothing making me feel like I'm suffering. There's nothing making me feel extremely happy yet, and that's okay. That's the best benchmark in the beginning, is just sit and I feel neutral. And truly neutral, that's the key thing. Sometimes you feel neutral plus, am I there yet? Or neutral plus, nothing's happening yet, right? There's this feeling of anticipation still. There's this feeling of wanting something to change. Or don't sit like I can sit and it feels like loading, like you're waiting for the loading screen or something like that. Or you feel like you're waiting for the download to complete. But instead, sit and do you truly feel content right now? And if you don't, that's the thing that's stopping you from getting to that benchmark. It means your mind isn't truly present. It means your mind is either in the past comparing or in the future expecting. So if you feel that way, it's okay. You need to adjust. Readjust, relax, repeat. Readjust how? You can open your eyes. You can come back to the mantra, come back to the visualization to make sure that you're actually present.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. So the last question before wrapping up is, what is the most dangerous spiritual idea people live by? So I guess this would be your thoughts.
What is the most dangerous spiritual idea people live by? I think we're guilty in every religion or spiritual path that sometimes we rely on outside things to help us. And I think this is dangerous in the idea that a one-way kind of thing, that it has to be two-way. That's the most important thing, is that especially in Buddhism, like we cannot rely on the Buddha to help us, right? We can't pray, but we can connect to the positivity. But the thing is, like you and us, we have the great masters. We have our meditation masters that we respect, we admire, and we believe that will help us. But we also have to help ourselves. This is the most important part. If we help ourselves, it's like you turn on the signal to receive the help from the outside source. But that's the thing that we have to do is, but when we stop, why did Longpo, the great master, say stop is the key to success? It means we have to stop, calm our mind. It's like you're opening your own mind to receive the positive signal. It's like just now, if you get a phone call, you have to answer it, right? To hear what they're saying, right? Or to receive the message. But there's that action that you have to receive the phone, right? You have to turn on the phone to answer. So it's the same idea that I think we have to stop waiting for someone to help us, but start helping ourselves first. And then, stop waiting for the miracle on the outside, but look for the miracle on the inside that you have. And if we can do both, the miracle will come faster. Actually, maybe the help that we need, the person that we need to help us is just around the corner, but we don't see it. And it's because we didn't clear our mind, calm our mind to see it.
Okay, looks like we lost Monk Daniel again, which is totally fine because it's about 10:34. It's about time to wrap up anyways. He might not even come back on because he knows that we're wrapping up. So at this time, everyone, meditate often, meditate well. Definitely join us again next month on the 1st of May, which is a Friday. And we'll see you then. Bye. Oh, you're back, Monk Daniel. It's all right. I didn't know if you were going to come back, but I was just letting everyone know it's time to wrap up anyways. So thank you, Monk Daniel.
The signal is kind of becoming bad at this moment.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you want to just go ahead and give us a blessing since you came back on.
Okay, so thank you everyone. May this positivity of this full moon meditation and all the positivity that you have done until now and that you will continue to do, may that positivity protect you, look after you, guide you to keep you healthy, happy, successful in your personal and professional life. And most importantly, may this positivity help you connect to that full moon of happiness inside of you more easily, more profoundly, and more quickly, and may be able to share this positivity to your loved ones, to your family, to your friends, and to everyone in the world.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Let's come together to open the new whatever to eliminate all conflicts and differences. It's time for everyone to join hand in hand. At last, now the world's beyond healing. It's time to change the world. As the one who knew in the past, in this period of our time, we will see before we depart this world. Everyone must join hand in hand to change the world from darkness to brightness, from suffering to happiness, from ignorant to the knowledge one. Change the world, we have to do it the easy way. Be happy and joyful with childlike innocence. Everyone must join hand in hand. Gently close your eyes, relax, relax. Still your mind at the center of the body and move it. At the same position of the one who moved from the past. Change the world from the era of darkness to the era of light. From the old era to this new era, the world will be like heaven on earth. No classes in society. Everyone will be really happy. We speak the same heavenly language. We come as one with smiles.